Wake up.
It's the Daily Grind
Daily Grind.
with SP and Legacy Jones.
What's up, everybody? It's Rob Sproul, a.k.a. SP.
What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus McLeod, a.k.a. Legacy Jones.
And this is week number 7, episode number 7 of the Daily Grind.
Magic 7, man.
And today's guest that we have, they pioneered a way to showing that you can get it, of what we like to say, out the mud from 2009 to now. Hands down, by far, the best fish, the best chicken, the best seafood, the best. If you don't have family members around, this is the place that you want to eat at. I need y'all to show some love for none other than Germaine and Shelly Harris, y'all.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
All glory to God, man. All glory to God.
Good.
Hear that?
We're gonna get straight to it. So, when obviously everybody knows that you guys own a restaurant, and for me, I like to know, like, how did the passion come from when it comes to cooking? Where did that come from?
It started when I was a kid. Growing up, I would stay in on Sundays and watch the elders cook. Prepare a Sunday meal for the family, and it just started from there, man. I just had a passion for cooking always. It's something that you embedded in you, as a youth.
Mm-hmm. And it truly is a passion, because when I met him, he was a fresh 17 years old, and that's how he won his way to my heart.
Through the stomach. Okay.
Get ready to do a little Valentine's party, put my little menu together, and he was like, I got this bomb wing sauce. You get the stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'll put it together for you. So we in the supermarket getting all the stuff, but he don't want me to see what he throwing in the cart.
I couldn't afford the meal, so
because he don't want me to get the recipe.
Make it do what you right. I understand that, man. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, it speaks in volumes to me when you do something like that, because it's more authentic that way. Anybody could take somebody out to eat, but to take that time and prep that is a whole different animal.
Oh yeah, man.
Definitely.
And to have the passion. He stayed humble, but the passion for cooking. Like when he cooking, like he fixing it like it's his plate. And then after the people eat it, he wanting to know what they thought. He wanted to know if it was good enough, It's fire every time, because every meal he put out is perfection. Like, it's,
I started my career
he truly has a gift for cooking.
I started my career in a 5-star restaurant, cooking for all the executives and the players for the Phoenix Suns, whatnot.
Oh, nice.
And that was from 94 clear up until 97 when I moved here.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I did that, and I progressed pretty fast. In 94, I started out in the dish pit, and the executive chef at that time name was Sean Kavanaugh, and he seen what I had as far as taking the initiative of doing extra things, and he said, "Hey man, a guy quit over here in the pantry. We need you to come over here and see if you got the finesse, if you have finesse to work the pantry." And of course, I didn't know what the pantry even meant. I just know, hey, I want to do it,
Right.
And so I get over into the pantry and seeing what the guy was doing. He was making desserts from scratch. Salad dressing from scratch. And I'm just like, okay, I can do this, First weekend, I was putting it together. The chef was giving me compliments. Everybody around me like, oh, this guy has it, what it takes. And I want to say I just sped up, man. I was doing the catering before you knew it. I was running departments and all that. And so the passion has just always been there, I didn't recognize what I had until my mother-in-law actually gave me that notion, to say, hey, Germaine, you have a passion in cooking. Why don't you become a chef? Because in the past I always done the manly jobs. I want to get out and do construction, demolition work, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just do those type of things. And when I landed in the kitchen, man, it just felt like second nature.
You went from
At home.
construction to creation.
Oh yeah.
Definitely like that.
And it just took on what I had before, and it's another art to me, like my wife was saying, when I'm putting plates together, it's like You know, you have to have the color coordination with it. You know, everything goes together, the crispness and
The plate
everything with the plate.
presentation.
Yeah.
Definitely presentation.
You notice if you eating that bow legs, every plate look the same. They coming out like the same.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that's what he's doing with his cooks in there. Like every plate better look like this. Like anytime he run a new special, he always put it on the plate. He show him how to do it. He show him how he wanted to be presented on the plate, how it's supposed to go out and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
So it's always I want to say perfection is what we shoot for. You know, nobody's perfect. I tell my cooks that all the time, but we shoot for that. We want every plate to look perfect when it goes out.
And you
know
stick
what
to
I'm
the
saying?
script, you can't mess it up because
Oh,
he be
yeah.
right there. Like this is what you do, and this is how you do it. Don't do this, don't do that. This is
To
how
the
you
point
do it.
where I
all the
go,
way
I
from
can't
the
even
beginning
enjoy a
to
lot
the
of my
finish.
meals when I go out to eat at other places.
Oh my
like
God,
it's like,
we went out last night. I was
it's like,
so
this
spoiled. I'm
food
like,
don't even,
man.
it's so bland, you know. But I eat it because I'm trying to eat bow legs
Be
all
like,
the
I'm
time.
so hungry tonight, but I'm gonna eat this shit.
I
Put my
guarantee
leg
that. I
deep.
guarantee when you go. I guarantee it's a struggle when you go to a different restaurant that's not your own, and you're looking at it like, man, this could be plated better.
Oh, yeah.
Man, this could taste like this. This could use this, like you know,
Oh, yeah.
because
You
you're
know,
all.
it's funny though. I never even care about I don't never even think about the presentation because I'm like always stuck on presentation. I just want to eat something good.
I definitely.
And
do
that's
that.
all I'm looking for. And once it can look real pretty on the plate and it tastes like crap and I'm like disappointed. So I'm not even paying attention to the presentation. I want to know what I'm gonna put in my palate.
Right.
Okay. So moving forward, where did the name Bow Legs come from?
That is a name that was given to my husband by his grandmother. He's old Beau for his bow legs.
Oh,
And
wow.
Yeah.
when we were putting on paper, about bow legs, long before it really came into existence, what we was gonna do and what we was gonna serve and what would we call it. Our kids was like, why don't you call it bows, like old bows or something like that, because that's what they remember hearing the grandma calling him. And we was like, well, no, let's just go something like, because it was about his legs, bow legs. That seemed kind of catchy. So we went with the bow legs fish and chips because it is his thing. That's what he loved to do. That's bow legs. That's his art, his creation. So bow legs fish and chips is his nickname. This is Beau right here.
Oh, okay.
Dope.
Good
I
stuff.
never would have known that.
Yeah, so as a kid, they wanted to put braces on my legs, and my mother refused that because I was so bow-legged, and they was like, "Oh, you need to stop carrying that bow on your hip, and so my mom said she stopped carrying me on her hip, and that's where my legs started to actually come into form. And I'm still a little bow-legged, but slightly bow-legged, I like to say.
Extremely bow legs.
Oh man, so starting up businesses usually take a few years before you truly start to see success. How long would you say it took you guys to get to the point where you felt like you on the right path?
Oh man, instantly. I want to say we opened up Bow Legs in 2009, but I had a catering contract with a $1 billion company called Univera since 2007.
Oh, okay.
And I used that as a platform. I was making $20,000 a month doing the catering through those guys. And so mainly we opened up Bow Legs just so I can have a commercial kitchen to cater, to get out of my garage, basically. I was going out of the house. And so we did that to go and have a commercial kitchen for those guys. And so we had that, what you see in Bow Legs when you walk in, you'll see the menu up top there. That was the original menu that we started with, just to kind of get guys for lunchtime or whatever, type of menu, and pretty much like house favorites that the kids liked, And so yeah, we started with that, man, and so it was basically an instant success. When we opened in 2009, we made a profit of $50,000 our first year, and so we had a gain of profit over the years to I want to say our profit network last year was $600,000.
Clap it up for that right there, boys.
We continue to grow, and with the success of just again believing in God, man, putting all faith in God,
In front of everything.
and then that's the fuel, bro. That's what keeps me going each and every day. I can't stress that fact enough to let the youth know, and in fact, just the world, say, hey, if we put God first in our lives, that we can move mountains, brother. We can actually move mountains.
For sure.
Well, out of all the meals you offer at your restaurant, which one is your favorite? And why?
You know, it's crazy because I'm a simple type guy. I actually like the catfish po' boy, man.
Oh my
That's
God,
my
that's
favorite.
my fave.
I'm a sandwich type of guy, man. I love
That's my
it's
fave.
between the catfish po' boy and the steak sandwich. And the steak sandwich has always been a favorite of mine. That actually is one of the things that I kind of brung with me from the first job I had.
Okay.
As far as working in a 5-star restaurant, it was on our lunch menu, and it was just with mayonnaise, and we had always had in the family that Cajun, far as the chili lime mayo.
Yes, we make our
goes.
own sauces,
so
and we threw
put
that on there.
I threw that on there,
Made
mixed
it
that
our
version
own.
with
Okay.
what was at the restaurant.
Okay.
And we have today in Beau the steak sandwich with the chili lime aioli sauce, which is banging. People love that, man. That's
We've had
Do
to
you have
start
to
putting
make
it
or
in jars.
does it matter if somebody else makes it?
no, you know what it is that
The
I'm trying to.
recipe
We're
has
on a,
been taught. Our children know it, and our employees know it. They can't take it outside of Bowlegs. They own contract.
Right.
They can't leave with that recipe.
Right. Oh, wow.
Only within
Right.
our establishment can they use these
Right.
recipes because
Right.
they're on the market.
Right.
People come and buy them in containers. We're selling them now
Right.
by nice
and so
size
that's the next
containers.
step
People only
of
buy
us
the
crawl
jar.
and grow
That's
into the
nice.
next
That's
market
nice.
as far as putting our sauces out there. We have a following that people, like Shelly was just saying, people starting to buy our tartar sauce, the red sauce, the chili lime aioli, even the fried dust.
The French
kids-
fry seasoning.
Yeah, they
Okay.
love
And he calls it the fried
yeah.
dust.
Fried
He done named it the fried dust. It's the French
it
fry
is what
seasoning.
it is. You know, it's more. It ain't.
I
It's
wanted
just
to
a
call
dust
it the
to
Bow
me.
Leg concoction because he concocted. He
Right.
done changed the
Yeah,
name.
but it's a dust. You know,
It's
that's
a fried
the
dust now.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. You know.
The Bow Leg concoction is what
Like,
it should be called.
put an extra on there.
Right. Definitely.
All right. So,
With there being a shortage of what I feel urban restaurants in general, just in Washington, do you guys have plans on moving like up north as far as business goes, or opening another chain
Franchise.
up north or franchise up
Well,
north?
we've been looking at a few places because we are looking for a standing building because Bow Legs has outgrown the place we're in. However, we plan on staying in that location because we do, cater to a lot of military and people out of DuPont. So we want to stay in that establishment. But we are looking for a standing building. We've been looking at a place out in Yale.
Okay.
We've been putting a prayer group for the spot. So we got to go and look inside and see really
it's
what it
got
has
the
to
whole
offer.
look for the New Orleans type look. The whole building. It's a really unique looking
Banquet
building
room,
and stand out.
it's got a nice piece
plenty
of
of
property
space,
there.
bar
So
area. We have to, of course, have to get in there and change it up to what we want it to look like, with a few little alterations. But yeah, we
our
even
first baby will probably be in Yelm if
Yelm.
all goes well.
Okay.
And everything is right within both ends of the deal because with every opportunity you got to really dissect the situation, make sure what you're getting into when you get into it.
Right.
But it seems like it's the spot for us. It keeps coming back to us, so we're gonna try and pursue that.
That's why I was gonna ask.
They're
like,
asking
what
for a
made you
nice,
pick
pretty
Yelm?
penny for the location, but I know
But
and
it's
believe
very
in
doable.
God, and I trust in God,
Yeah,
and
it's
I know if
doable.
it's
It's very
for us,
doable.
it shall be.
Now the question
And that's
is,
where we
who's
at
going?
with that.
Who's going to work there?
and,
My husband and I will be living on the premises. There is property there
Okay.
to make
Yeah.
sure we maintain
Yep.
that. And
Yep.
our son, who right now is working the Bow Legs
he's
number
my sous
one,
chef. He's our sous chef.
okay.
he
right
will
now.
be taking over number one.
Okay.
And then,
Hey.
our daughters and other employees
Yeah.
will be there to help
Yeah.
him along. And
So
we'll be
Bowlegs is a family business.
Most
Yes,
definitely.
sir.
But
Most
are
definitely.
other people able to put in applications to
Oh,
work
for
there?
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. We have hired people all, from all over the place. They're not necessarily a family, but once they come into Bow Legs, they become family.
Fact.
Oh, yeah.
We are a Bow Legs family. We're a team. We're to work together in
yeah.
all
Oh, yeah.
aspects of the game. So, when you come to work for Bow Legs, you coming to work. You know what I'm saying?
Even on the ventures of stepping out and getting further, we have opportunities that's on the rise of franchising the business out.
Okay.
We have a few people, the investors, who's been in the making of trying to get that ready. So we have them on the outskirts say, hey, they waiting for us to put it out there and say, yeah, and you know, so they can open their own stores as well.
That's
I know y'all
exciting,
gotta have
man.
the final say so.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. You just ain't giving your brand away now.
all the legalities and all that.
It's like one of your children.
Yeah.
You can't
Where my
just
baby
give
go?
that.
For real, no.
I need to know what's going on with my
They gonna have
baby.
The whole store
Yes.
changed up.
Oh no.
Yeah, we gotta have your lawyers and everything, draw your
Oh, yeah.
contracts up, and everybody be totally savvy that everything gotta go by the script, if you will. There'll be a
Right.
script to everybody that will
yeah.
invest in Bolex, and they'll have to abide by that script.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
definitely.
Yeah.
So boom, my last another question I have. You've won numerous awards for your food. Is there a competition you'd like to enter that you haven't yet?
Oh man, you know, it's funny. Let me answer this one.
Yes,
Germaine.
yes, please.
I just so happened to see that it was a brother in Seattle that was the first African American to win the what they call the Oscars Food Award, and they presented to him in Chicago this year. And I hadn't had a chance to get out and check his menu out, but they categorize you by if you're a certified chef.
Okay.
And I hadn't went down and took the test to become a certified chef yet, but now that is on my list, my next list. So I want to go down and get certified, and so we can put Beau legs in the running next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Toss your hat in the
Yeah,
ring. Yep.
Because he
Because
feel
he's
like
out
he
of Seattle,
got
he
it.
got-
He's like, hold up now. They
He
give him
watched
Oscars now?
him. He watched him. He
when I
watched him. He was like, I got
it,
this
because I'm
cat. I
always
gotta
on the
get
chef
this.
stuff. You know, I'm always on this, and so I just so happened to see it, and I was like, all right, congratulations. You know, happy for him. You know, that type of thing, and it's a reason for me seeing that is because I want to conquer that now. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
it's
I have
another
to
goal.
Get
Yep.
myself
See another-
certified.
yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so with that, I most definitely that's drive me, man. I'm driven by that.
right.
That's the competition. He
driven
gonna
by
win. It's
I'm
in
looking-
where, baby?
Oh well, it's you know they
they do?
present it to you in Chicago, but once you're certified and you're on the network as a certified chef in Washington State, then they send out what they call these secret people who come in your restaurant and eat as a
Secret shopper type, except
Yeah,
for
like
meals.
a-
Except
yeah,
for
and
meals.
they like what
eat
they-
your food and
yeah.
they do ratings on your food,
Yep.
that type of nature. And
That's
again,
dope.
so when I looked at his menu, went on seeing all stuff about him, I went and looked at his menu, and he had grits on there. He had some collard greens. He had red beans. He had catfish. You know,
His menu look
And-
nearer to ours.
and I tell you, I have folks that come clear from Seattle, numerous of folks that come from Seattle to get bow leg fish and chip, and they come from clear from Paulsboro. We got them coming from far up north. Far as Portland, we got them coming down from where was that? That person come from Portland, past Portland. to
Shit,
get
we've
our-
had people come all the way from
Medford,
Medford and everything. Talking about we done.
Yeah.
To
We've
get
had people
bow
say
leg.
we
Medford,
just got
6
off the
hours.
airplane, and
Yeah.
before we even went anywhere, this is our first stop.
That's
So
nice.
you
And
know
so-
that humbles me. It keep, you know, because I know not only are we serving enough food, but we serve enough food for the soul. You can get your
yeah.
daily
And people obviously
scripture,
speaking
get your
nicely about
daily
the daily
scripture right
That's
there
my
on our
next
special
goal, though,
boards
is to-
daily
okay,
for
let's
your
take that.
soul,
Definitely.
and a good meal. You know,
to
goes a
your
long
ribs.
way. Yes, speaks to your ribs, your spirit, everything. Yes.
When I go out to eat, what separates food from me as far as good and great is seasoning. To me, I feel like that plays such a pivotal role because anybody could bread something or slap something in the oven, and that's just what it is. How important is it to you guys as far as the seasoning goes, and why do you feel that most places don't find that to be important?
Well, when you go into the cooking world, you know, a lot of folks go into cooking school and get their education there, and they translate that over into the public. And in cooking school, they don't, for some reason or another, they believe that salt and pepper is supposed to be on the table. Well, when you start out in the chef world, as far as hands-on, the salt and table is not supposed to be on the table.
Right.
It's on the food. You put that on the food, so you're supposed to season the food the way you want it to be flavored to, you know. And so it's a lot of places around town that again, they just under season the food. They want it to be bland and to cater to, I guess, the people that
I think it's like a safety thing.
Yeah,
you know,
safety
'cause
net.
Nowadays you run across people.
But
nowadays, you know, the gluten free.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
diabetic can't have too much salt.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So it's more like a safety mechanism, I think,
But
to
that
just
comes
kind
with
of.
the customer preference. You know, when they come into my restaurant, they say, "Hey, we know your food is very well seasoned, but I want mine lightly seasoned."
Right.
And so
that's
they
cool,
get
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and that's cool. But you don't have to waste that salt and pepper on the table.
I'm cool. I want to check my pulse after I eat.
You know what I'm saying?
I want the seasoning there for me because it's just like I'm not going somewhere to spend money for somebody to do something that I can do. I want
Right.
to know that it's made with love because
Right.
with the seasoning, that's obviously like Shelly was saying earlier. You didn't want her seeing the secret ingredients of how you
Yeah,
whip certain stuff
with
up.
them
Like
wings.
I don't
I got it
mind.
now,
I don't gotta
though.
know the
I got it
ingredients, but
now.
I want to know that it was made with love if I'm
Yeah.
spending money. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
passion thing, man. It's with passion. You know, when I started my career in that 5-star restaurant, you know, that was one of the chef things. He said, "Hey, salt and pepper is not supposed to be on the table. You know, we want to season this food." And the guy was from Florida, and he had that sway already too. So it was just like, boom, you put this with this and that with that, not over seasoning by putting too much salt or too much pepper. You know, and so with me, it was when I come with my flavor of rubs or dust or that Shelly called it or anything like that. I just
Ole
use
concoction.
equal parts, you know, so nothing is too overbearing with that.
You called it the dust. I said Beau concoction.
Well, boom. I feel like I have a feeling of the answer to this one, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. What is your best seller? And do you have any new things coming on the menu for the summer?
Well, the top seller would be our catfish.
I knew it.
I always say the catfish and shrimp basket.
Catfish and shrimp.
And I like to call that the best of both worlds, simply because you get that shrimp and you get your catfish. You get two nice,
Shrimp
strips of
ain't small
catfish.
neither.
And she'll know
I
better.
know.
She takes all the orders up front, so she get to talk to the customer in the faces, so she would know.
But the catfish is definitely our number one seller, and the cod is like neck and neck with that.
Okay.
We're here in the Northwest, and not everybody ready for that catfish.
At all.
And then you got some brothers that done step back.
crawfish and crab boil.
They done step back and they talk about, that's a butterfish. I don't eat that no more. Be like, bro, I'm sorry for you.
Right. So what people look forward to the summer is we got the crawfish and crab boils every Friday and Saturday.
Oh yes,
And so,
during season, come and get it.
Oh yeah.
Just
They are
lit.
definitely in season,
Yeah.
yes.
We've
And
been talking about
So you
that,
get
man.
the crawfish, you get the crab, you get clams, you get shrimp, andouille sausage, corn, and potato.
All
And
in
that's
your
all
bowl.
in the bowl.
Now, when
yeah.
is this?
Friday and Saturdays.
We've been
We started
running
last
out.
Friday and Saturday. We started
Take
last
my
Friday and
money
Saturday.
now. Gracious.
Yeah, when they're in season, we try to keep them going because people be wanting that. Because, a lot of times they have to go up towards Seattle, Tacoma to get
Yeah.
that, you
Right.
know. And they don't have it here in our area. So I'm glad to be able to bring it in fresh to their table.
Because I was literally the other day looking like, man. Because me and my lady were talking, we were like, yo, I would love some crab or some crawfish or something to that nature. We were looking, the closest place is like an hour and a half.
You know?
You know,
and
hour
here
and a
we
half.
are in little old Laces.
Hey, yo, you
Oh,
go right on the boat lane.
capital,
Nobody
the
knew it.
capital.
Hey,
I was saying,
Everybody
man,
act like Seattle
Friday.
the capital.
Right.
We in the
Hey,
capital. It ain't
you know,
nothing jumping
I'm
off
there.
here in our
On
city.
Fridays,
We
I'm
gotta
there
bring
till about
something to our city.
7
I
o'clock.
know.
We open at
Don't let
11.
us
Well
try.
before
We
then.
need some
All right, yeah,
more
come in.
afterwards.
Y'all come in, and when I'm there, and I'll make sure I
Open up
take
some
care of y'all.
good
At,
places to where you wanna
maybe I throw an
go
extra
and-
crab leg in there or something on there for
My
y'all.
God.
Good.
See, that's what I'm
Enjoy
liking
one
to
another.
hear.
No,
That's
you're
what
right.
we need.
No, you
So definitely
right.
come
In our
Fridays
area.
and
Seattle is
Saturdays.
not
They got the
capital.
crab
This is the
boil.
capital, and we need to
Olympia
put it on
is the
map.
capital. Remember that.
Yes, we need to put that on the map.
Like, for real.
I have friends that have played with the idea of starting a food truck. You had a food truck at one point. What would you say are the do's and don'ts that you'd share with someone that's looking to venture into that lane?
It's a tough business with food trucks. My preference is brick and mortar. You know, food trucks more for like special events. If you want to do weddings, things of like the Bite of Tacoma, Seattle, all that type of thing. Those are more for events. Than day-to-day use, it can be a bit challenging. It requires a lot of maintenance and work. Propane. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a money pit.
It's a
money
money
pit.
pit.
It's a money pit. I opened mine up in 2014, and we lost a lot of money in that truck, to the point where I just had to we had to get rid of the truck. It was either get rid of the truck or keep feeding it. And I choose not. You know, the rule of thumb is you can't take from number one to feed number two.
Facts.
You know,
Yeah.
and so when
And
that
it
started
came
to
to
occur,
that.
when it came to that, I did it for a little bit, and I said, hey, I broke the rules. I can't break it anymore. Boom.
Work smarter.
Do you feel
right.
do you feel like it's because there's not like enough events and things of that nature sustain having a truck, or do you just feel like
No, it wasn't that. It was more so of me not having the resources. When I mean resources, more like the right hands at bow legs. You know, I had to tear myself away from bow legs or put somebody else on the truck, and neither of them worked.
Right.
You know?
So pretty
And
much,
so-
if it's somebody's business of only business, because you had two situations going
Right, you're
on.
just
so
speaking
you
of
probably,
my
right.
view
So if you
of
take
it.
a person or individual that food truck is their go-to, that's their business, then they don't have another.
They may
you
have
know.
it's a shot at it, but you have to
I
have
say
a lot to go with that.
You got to have a lot
You
with
know,
that. You definitely have you some
transmissions,
capital
engine
set to
work,
the side. Yes.
Water lines cracking, just leaks with far as the water pump goes when you're using the water in the pivotal moments when you're busy and the water thing stop running. Health department might come in, pop up on you, so you got to make sure that's going.
It
just
was a
it's
lot.
a lot. I can go on and on and on, and she
Oh
knows
God, and the
because I was
propane,
the
and
one.
the propane,
Because
and the propane.
nobody wants to be in the middle of like having a huge rush, and the next thing you know, something goes wrong or something goes
Right.
haywire.
And-
Right.
'Cause
And
then
in a
that
brick and
shuts the
mortar
whole
building,
process down.
you have more control over that.
Yeah.
You know, you everything is pretty much it's a foundation. You know what I'm saying? And it's a place where people can come and you're not always moving around. They can always sit in. Here in Washington, especially when we always have bad weather, you know, and so those pivotal months
That's what
where
works
you
against
where-
the food
where-
truck
yeah,
industry.
you know what I'm saying? And it's
here
pivotal
in
months
our
when it's
places,
cold
but it
outside,
hasn't been in
raining and stuff like
California.
that.
See,
People don't
okay.
want to stand in that or eat outside in that. They want to come and sit down in a place where it's warm, watch some TV. You know what I'm saying? And feel comfortable. And so, and a lot of that goes into play with the food trucks. And that's why I said early on that it's okay if you're doing events in them, then it's a moneymaker.
Because
But-
you're in an event where they've
Right.
already
And you have a
established your
controlled
clientele,
little
people are
area,
coming.
Right.
and all that privacy, whatever you want to do. But
Like with the catering.
yeah, with catering events, if you're doing weddings, take it out there. You got a kitchen on wheels, basically.
Right.
You know, you can do that. You ain't got to rely on establishment having that, providing that for you. But yeah, for as far as for my preference again is just if anyone want to make an investment into a business. First
Brick
of all,
and
you can invest in bow legs. Let me let you know that.
y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
You can do that with strict guidelines. But if my deal, if you want to start a restaurant, is get you a brick and mortar.
Okay.
Yeah,
Get you a building, get you a place, and just get some good people.
Yeah,
That's right. And
that
it's
food
even
truck is
hard
so
with
up
starting
and
out a
down.
business.
It's so up and down.
You know.
But if you was in a warm climate like California, Arizona, I would think it would do very well location-wise.
Right,
you know,
right.
If you find a good location where it's not much to eat, or an industrial area where you know people are gonna be eating, post up there, you know you're gonna get your money in a nice warm area. But here it's kind of up and down because the weather's
Because
up
of the
and
weather
down.
permits
Yeah,
that
you know, for a
definitely
food
makes
truck,
sense.
and like you said, just feed it constantly.
Yeah.
And it seems like the health department are drawn to the trucks. Cause we had the health department more with the truck than we did in our brick and mortar. Although we do well at both
They do
ends, but
weekly
boy, they were
visits
constantly
in
coming
the truck.
on that
The
truck.
truck, they do weekly visits. Weekly visits,
and
man.
they
They
can
want to
pop up. They'll
check
pop
everything.
up in the middle of. You'll have lunch going and have a line out the door.
And they want to talk about
And they want to come in there asking you
inspection.
questions
And it's tight quarters
so forth.
already
Now
as
your
it is.
customers
Right.
get mad
And
because
so
they,
you
you
have
know,
to
they gotta
maneuver
eat,
around
they
one
gotta
another,
go,
and
they
they
gotta
want to
get
check
back
this
to work. They
refrigerator,
don't
they
have
want
all
to check
day.
this, they want to check the
Yeah.
temperature of that, they want to probe everything, you know. And quite
Oh,
naturally,
man.
they want to check the safety of the public, and I can
And I can
understand
understand
that.
that.
You know,
I can
but,
understand that.
you know,
but,
timing
you know,
is
it's
everything,
just,
though.
It's kind of like a headache. It's a headache, that food truck industry. I mean, it's doing good, and God bless all those that are doing that right now. And
I don't want to
you know,
discourage
that's their
anyone
only
from
spot.
doing
Yeah.
a food truck. Yeah, I don't
But
want
it
to
ain't
put that
for
out.
me.
You just
Not
giving
right
your
now.
views, yep.
Yeah.
It ain't for us right now.
No doubt. Well, before we continue the rest of the show with the Talk That Talk segment, please pay attention to a message from our sponsors.
Hi, my name's Phil. I'm one of the bud tenders here at T Brothers. When you come in, make sure you ask about our daily specials or how to sign up on our rewards program. We also offer discounts for veterans and seniors. At any given time, we carry 80 to 100 different choices in flour from over 20 vendors. When it comes to edibles, we have something for everyone. Classic chocolates, cookies, hard candies, along with infused lemonades or even hot cocoa. If concentrates are your thing, you'll be pleased to find some of your favorites and some that you've never even tried. Looking for glass or accessories? We have you covered with some of the most affordable products in town.
Talk That Talk with Marcus McLeod, aka Legacy Jones.
What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus McLeod, aka Legacy Jones, and we are doing the Talk That Talk segment, where we ask any and every question. Nothing goes unanswered. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna start it off like this. What's your favorite restaurant to eat at, and what's your least favorite, and why?
Ooh, Pat's
Pat's gotta be our
restaurants.
number one.
On
Yeah.
Pacific, make the meanest breakfast you ever want to put in your mouth. It's down home.
The little
country.
green building.
Yes,
Yep,
honey.
yep,
It's a
yep.
little
Pat's.
small shack.
Yep.
You may sleep on it, but don't.
I don't.
Least to eat at.
Family owned and operated. Miss Nancy and
And Kenny.
over there putting it
Okay.
down. And the grub is always 100. I mean, your eggs, your
What would you say our
pancakes. I
least?
love the country fries.
And your
Crispy
least
ass
favorite.
What would you say our least, baby?
You won't put me down.
Yep.
I
me think about
take
it.
care. I take care of that one. The least.
Let me marinate.
All right. You know what? I can say this.
My least
with
favorite is
honesty,
Mickey D.
it has to be the Chinese buffet.
Which
Chinese
one?
buffet.
Super buffet or the main Chinese?
Main
buffet?
Chinese, both of them.
But
man.
I say Mickey D.
I ain't gonna even lie, brother. I'll be honest with you. It was a favorite, a family favorite. We used to go
regular.
there all the time. But they have downgraded, and for what reason I don't know. But we was just recently there last night, and it was the other night. It was Friday night, and
And
I
around,
didn't even eat the food.
please bring back your surf and turf, please, Lord.
Thank you.
Because your menu too has dwindled.
Oh yeah, and that's enough.
Well, I love to go there late night for my beer. I love your blonde, and please bring back your surf and turf. That's all.
Shout out to the Ram.
Yeah.
Bring back that shrimp.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah.
playing.
Bird, salmon,
But
steak,
the buffet.
steak.
The buffet, man. Yeah, it just, the selections are really small. The quality of the food had just went all the way down, man. I mean, it's really crappy food.
Passion, man.
It's really crappy
Action.
food. I mean, really, seriously. It had, over the years, I want to say, again, it was a family favorite. You know, we would go there every other night, Friday night that is, to just before the movies.
Okay.
And we went there the Friday night, and it was just like, we only had one plate of each, and I even
I
finished the
didn't
whole
even
plate. It
eat
was
my
nasty.
third plate.
They didn't have nothing there that looked appealing to me at all on the thing.
I normally
Crab
And I
was
normally fuck
mushy.
the
The shrimp
chicken
was
up.
mushy. It was just terrible, man. And yeah.
Oh man.
Love you, man.
Man.
Come back to us, man. Buffet. Come back. Bring back that coconut shrimp.
Coconut shrimp, you know, and don't put as much out there. You know, that way the food can stay hot. You know, properly heated.
We love
you know?
y'all. Please come back to us.
Yeah.
We depend on y'all.
No doubt, no doubt. What's something that customers do that you find annoying?
I don't really get any annoying customers.
That would
at
be
all.
my department.
Yep.
And I love you all. But what really bothers me is after somebody done placed their order, got their order, and then they cut somebody in line trying to place an order. Don't even say excuse me. Be like, can you add me to go so and so? And didn't even say excuse me or nothing to the person that's trying to place an order. That really bothers me.
Understood.
I say wait your turn. You've been tended to already. You've been
And-
treated
and-
like
and-
golden.
and me in the
Please
kitchen-
allow the next person to be tended to the next
And
same way.
me in the kitchen, you know, I thrive on you get when it's to go order you to get your food properly the way you want it.
Right.
And so when you don't have your order complete upon placing your order, it tends to let your order that you place ahead of time go cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it's not always that high quality
Yeah,
the way
you know
you want it. When by
that
the time
phone
you get
in
home.
order, and then you get there to get the phone in order, and then can I add a Kai basket? What's gonna happen to the phone in order?
Yeah. And
And
so
if you ain't ready to eat it,
so
just-
we encourage you guys when you come in to have your order
All together.
all together. Yeah.
Yes,
Don't
because
come-
we
don't come
are
in the beginning and be
we
like,
are
"Hey,
good
that's
food fast. We are
And I
not
know
fast
we
food.
can run into problems
Right,
with
right,
We're
right.
not perfect, and we understand no one is perfect. And because we run into problems with not having your order together when you come in there to pick it up.
Yes,
And that's due to the fact of being extremely busy.
Busy, yeah.
And so
And
we
when
do
that
apologize
happens,
for that
I do
too.
apologize for the inconvenience. I always try to offer a bandage, some good dessert, a beverage, whatever to satisfy your inconvenience. I want
Right.
to do that for you, for your inconvenience. I
Right.
try to aim to do that to please every customer that comes to my door, because I know things happen, especially when you go to switching up stuff at the
Right.
last minute. You don't understand, we're not a fast food restaurant. We are good food done fast.
Right,
So
that's
everything
right.
is done to order, and
Cooked
it's
to
also
order, breaded to
scratch.
order,
When you
and
order your
everything,
jambalaya,
yeah.
it's not sitting in a pan just ready to just scoop
Ready to
up.
go.
Yeah, when
It's
you
not
order
like
that catfish,
It's being
it's not
prepared
catfish,
for
it's already
you
frozen, it's just
Right.
taken
to
out of the freezer
order
or
to
out of the
perfection.
refrigerator
That's why
being
it's
dropped
so
in the grease.
good when it's
That
done to you.
catfish is pulled out of the
Yes.
egg wash that it's
Yes,
in
honey.
into the cornmeal and dropped into the deep fryer pound order, every order. That's
Right.
It's nothing that's already sitting in the window when you come in. We just have to take it from the hot box and put it into a to-go border and put it out there to you.
Well,
You know,
Gordon
that's
Ramsay
not what
would
you
love
get.
y'all.
Yeah, you're
And
getting,
I just want to send a
you're
shout
getting
out
that food cooked to order each and every time.
to all my Beau maniacs that ride a dog with
Oh,
us that
that's the
say,
catchphrase,
You know what
okay.
I'm saying? That say that they'll sit for hours to wait because they know it's well
Yes.
worth the wait. I thank you
Yes.
because you do understand the concept of bowling.
Shout out to the Beau maniacs out
That's
there.
right.
Yes,
That's
shout
right.
out to you, 'cause you
Beau
ride a
maniacs,
dog
I like
with us
that.
from day
Yeah.
one.
Hey.
We're
Let's
gonna
make
keep
it
we're gonna
happen.
keep it rolling. All right, my next one. How would you deal with a homeless person walking in looking for a meal?
I shall feed him,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've done it in the past.
and I'll continue to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone that
Even
walks
with
in
our
my door.
catering
Give it up.
events, yes, most definitely. Even with our
Yes.
catering events that we have extra food left over,
We
we'll
donate.
donate that to the homeless.
Take it to the
If we
streets
have
and give it
sandwiches,
out.
extra sandwiches,
Yes.
we're doing like a sandwich lunch, sack lunch or something like that.
Take it to
We
the
take it down
streets,
there and
give it
pass it
out.
out to the homeless people down there.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
don't
we'll
look for
definitely
your
give back.
newspaper. We ain't looking for the paper.
Nah.
We do it out of the
That's
goodness of
love.
our hearts.
That's
what's
what
up.
we do.
Because I was once a child in need, and someone always helped me out.
Yep.
You know, so I feel like it's not only a must that I have to do, but it's like it completes me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, has
Respect.
anybody ever taken advantage of that situation?
Of
your
course,
kindness?
you had a couple of cats.
You fed me last night, bro. So I just figured I was in the area. So
Hey, coming, you know, a lot of
that
times.
catfish
That's
was
how I look
good,
at it. I look
but
at it
that
like this.
shrimp
They come
look,
in,
It
they
looks
come in,
appeasing.
they go-
And I heard you
and
got a
it's
pork
a
chop.
special.
My brother on the other corner said you got a good pork chop. What about that? They pork chops are banging.
Yeah, in fact, you know, we had a customer that came in, and I know they weren't taking advantage, some good people, and they had a bad experience 3 years ago in Beau Legs. And I remember the young lady when she left, because I read my messages that come in, you know, reviews, whatnot, you know, and I respond to them, good or bad, you know, and I want to see what's going on. And this lady had a bad experience with the service that was there that day. And she said she wouldn't be back, and I apologized to her and told her, you know, the next meal will be free on me.
If she
You know,
chose to
if
come
she chose
back.
to come back, her and her husband. And you know, and they showed us Beau Legs, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday last week.
last week.
And was
For the
like,
first time
hey,
in
can
3
I get that
years.
free meal? And they were talking to my server. My server coming to the back. And she showed me this thing. She said, but that was 3 years ago, Mr. Germaine. I said, I don't care if it was 3 years ago or 10 years ago.
It could've
We
been 3
honoring
days
these
ago.
folks.
Yeah.
They coming back in here to look for a meal. You know what I'm
the
saying?
fact that they gave y'all
That's
another
right.
chance.
We're gonna honor
Honor
that.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's some
right.
really good people. And the lady said, I came out there and I talked to her and I apologized for the service that she had. She was like, you know, the service today was really good and the food is always amazing here. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go ahead and rate you guys on that. Yeah.
Ratings are everything nowadays.
Yeah, even more than that, with you sticking to your word.
Most definitely, man.
Even after a long period, we're looking at 3 years.
The next
Somebody
person
was
would have
just
been
like,
selected.
you know what? I'm hungry. that guy owe us a meal. Whatever the case may
Case
be,
may be,
they
whatever they
could
might have been
they might not
going
even
through.
lived
No,
in the
they
area
had-
and was just
they
like
had
back in
money.
the
Yeah,
area.
but
They
really
bought
they
desserts.
like
They
to
had
eat
money.
and they didn't have the funds.
They had
Case
money.
may
You know,
be.
you can
Right,
tell.
right.
You know.
Who knows what the
Even
case,
if
but
it
they
was,
came
no
back.
matter the case, what it was, if they would have came in broken,
word is your
disgusted
word.
looking, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? My word was my word already.
Facts, man.
That's
good
definitely big, respectable. That's very respectable. I definitely dig that.
shit. Give me a time you refused to serve someone and why.
I've never had.
I've never had.
Never?
I've never had that experience.
Nah.
I've had people come in and they be angry. You know, maybe they called and the person answered the phone couldn't hear them and they were frustrated or whatever. And, you know, I apologize and offer them something. Some say no thank you and they leave, but they come later.
We have people come in.
Or we have some that say, yes, please give me this, that, and the other, and I'll give them a reasonable discount. And they're served and they're pleased and they go on their way. But I've never had that happen to us.
Yeah, we had a guy that came in the Bolays one time, and I mean, he had the nastiest attitude. I mean, he came in. You know how you can just feel
The energy.
the energy. Yeah, he had that on him. He came in with his mug all frowned,
And everybody
and
in
he
Bolays
just
feel
looked like
so it's
one of the guys you can say,
inside
hey, you know, I have a right to refuse your
brother over
service.
here.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
but
right.
but after
Sister
us,
over
you know, showing him that hospitality, catering to his needs, feeding him a good meal, that man left with a smile on his face. And you wouldn't even be able to tell that man came in the way he came in because he left with a smile on his face.
Because sometimes they step in there and I think they just automatically, when they see that it's a black establishment.
Not even that. Not even
I
about
feel that. I feel that. Like you said, you work the back, I work the front. And when I feel, you know, the presence of some folks that come in, maybe somebody have told them
some
about
folks,
us.
yeah.
And they come in and then they see that it's a black
We have had that
establishment.
happen
I've had
before.
that happen.
Yeah, I
and
heard
they come in
that.
with attitude,
And
but
I've heard that.
but yet because they've been referred, they sit down and they eat anyway.
Yeah.
So
But
regardless
then
of the
nothing but
attitude.
props
yeah.
come from it because
Yeah,
they
we
have
had a
nothing
guy-
but to not deny it, but
Right.
to give the prop. But I have that happen, you know, several times, not on a regular basis, but I have experienced that.
Yeah, and like the guy that came in with the flag one day, he came in with the Confederate flag on, you know, and immediately, you know, the servers and everybody was turning their neck, and he had it proudly
can't
on his
believe
shirt, man. It wasn't
he
like a
came
little
in here
small
like
patch
that.
or a little button. It was a big, you know, proud and pronounced. You know, he was proud of that. And the girls come in the back, they turn, Mr. Germaine, you gotta woo woo. And so I
Serving.
go
He's
out
in our
there.
establishment.
Hey,
He
no,
wants to be
we had no
served.
problem with serving this guy. Nobody
Yeah.
showed him no attitude or nothing. And I tell you what, that guy was so polite. I mean,
And
respectful.
Judging the book
And I'm
by
from
its
Texas.
cover,
Yeah,
for
man.
real.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know
and
what
then
the
you have those
Confederate
guys.
flag
You have those
means
guys
in
that come
Texas.
in that really.
Ooh,
You
boy,
better you better watch
I'm
him.
trying to watch him.
He's
He's
gonna hit the
jumping.
streets.
He better watch himself.
But then you
The
have those
OG.
guys that come in sometime and they just give you the attitude and they would say what they believe in and they would turn around and walk out, you know. And I've had that early on in business. We had that, you know, but we haven't experienced. I know I haven't experienced that since we've been in business. I want to say the last six years. So just early on in business. And when people didn't I guess they didn't know it was a black establishment. and just
Whatever the
fell
case
into
may
that.
be.
Yeah,
but
whatever
I'ma
the case
tell
may
you-
have been.
I'm gonna tell you this. In my prayers, I always pray for God to protect me from naysayers and people that may
That's right.
have anything negative against me. Just protect me from those people. So if you put one foot in my door and you can't even walk in, to me, you're not to be there anyway.
Facts.
So therefore,
Big
I'm not missing anything.
I pray
right.
for people's understanding.
That's right.
Yes. You
That's
gotta-
right.
Yes.
Because sometimes
It means
people don't
nothing.
understand, like, because when a situation like that where you have a guy that comes in with an attitude or whatnot, I'm not gonna, man, you need to leave. No, I just pray for
I treat-
understanding for you, bro.
Yes, and I
That's
treat
all
them
it
with
is.
kindness because that's what God is. God is love. And
That's
I love my
love,
brother
man.
and I love my
Mercy and
sister.
mercy.
It doesn't matter
Okay.
what color you are.
That's right.
I love
Y'all
each and
hear
every
that?
one
Y'all
of
hear
you.
that?
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying that? So, you know, to each their own. If we're not for you, then we're not for you, and you have the right to walk from my door. But don't sit
All
in
money
my
ain't good, man.
establishment.
And all money,
and
all
make
money.
a
It don't matter what
moration,
money it
'cause then
comes
you're
from.
gonna have
All
problems.
money
And
ain't
not
good,
only are you
man.
gonna have
Right.
problems with me,
No
but
matter where it comes from.
my customers gonna rise up on you. I've seen that on internet.
Oh,
Live
yeah.
media, they be on there
Maniacs.
talking. You know, you get your
Yeah,
haters
we had
every
them
now and
bow
again. They
leggers,
talk
you
some
right?
stuff.
Bow leggers
Them
come out.
bow
crazy.
maniacs, man. They go ham. They
All
go
right, so
ham.
boom. My
Let's
final
go.
question for you guys is a two-part. How do you handle a kid screaming or a grown person yelling and cussing in your establishment that they're dining in?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I treat every baby with love because I have 4. Plus, I'm raising another that's not mine. And I got grandbabies, and I got one on the
Tending
way.
their needs in every way we could possibly
Honey,
can.
and I try to tend to them babies like they were mine. If I got to give them a coloring book, a drink, a toy, talk to them, grab them on their fat little cheeks, whatever, I mesmerize them and maintain because I understand that I have 4.
Okay.
You know, and not every mother is equipped to have children. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to tame them because they didn't have that. I was blessed to have a baby mama teach how to
we
tame
get customers
that.
in there yelling, cussing all the time, but it's in good. It's like, damn, this shit is good. And they be in there humming. One guy turned around, he say, damn, I thought it was a brothel. It sound like a sex bar here.
He said, yes, the man humming and having an orgasm behind here talking about. But the funny thing is, my most crazy experience up in there, well, I had a couple, but this is one that was real memorable. When I had a old veteran eating in bow legs, him and one of his colleagues, and they were dining their regulars, and they eat there quite a bit. And then I have my high schoolers that come over from River Ridge.
Okay.
They coming over from River Ridge and they getting their french fries and chicken strips, you know, and some of them sagging and acting crazy and so forth. Well, one of the youngsters, he come in and he's got his pants and they're hanging underneath his bottom and you can see his underwear and everything. And the vet says to the young man, you need to pull your pants up. And the young man says, excuse me, sir, but these are my pants and I choose to wear them this way. And the man says, but you're so disrespectful. And he tears into the young head. Now the young head, I see him every day, you know, so we got a relationship and he real respectful toward me. He real respectful toward me. And today he's having a bout with this vet, this old head. And I'm like, how do I respond to this situation? Right. And I mean, the old head going in to him, boy, I'll get up and I'll kick your ass, you know, he giving it to him, right? So finally I take the young boy aside and I say, hey, look, he's an older man, he a vet, you know, you gotta have respect for your elders. You know, he may be out of line. I know you won't wear your pants like this, you know what I'm saying? But out of respect for the man, your food coming up, you know, just pull your pants up a little bit, just sit down. Don't say nothing else to the man.
Right.
And then I go over to the older head and I say to him, because you know we got a relationship. And he still, I mean, he going
He's
in.
still fired up.
He fired up because this young boy done
this.
He ready to go get the fire and everything to the young bug because he like, this boy is out of line. And for one, he all up in your place with his pants hanging down. And I say, you know, these youngsters today, they don't know no better. They ain't got no know-how. We got to teach them.
Right.
You know, and I done talk to the young man. He ain't gonna say nothing else, and you don't say nothing else.
Right.
You know, we gonna get your food out to you. You know, this, that, and the other. And he like, okay. And then Grandpa Jim on the side, he like, yeah, you calm down. Give me another black coffee with a little sugar. And everything was remedy, you know what I'm saying? And then the next day, the youngster came in. You know, he thanked me for that and everything, cause he was ready to get about it with the old man, because the old man was really on him, you know.
It goes back
so he ready, you know, he done snatched his pants up a little bit.
Every
He ain't snatched them all the way, but he done snatched them up. So, you know, he ready to get about it. But he calmed all the way down. That was the most memorable,
you know what I'm saying?
time.
Type of shit, you know, as far as like us, you know what I'm saying? We think, okay, the generation before us, we're lots wiser and smarter than those guys.
Yeah.
Every generation is gonna feel a different.
Yeah.
That was written too.
Yeah.
He said he was on close eyes.
This dude going to sleep over
Well,
there.
we definitely want to thank Germaine and Shelly for coming out. Bowlegs, if you haven't ate there, let them know where the location is.
We are at
8765 Talon Lane, Northeast, Lacey, Washington, Suite G. Oh yeah.
If you missing out if you haven't been there.
Fridays and
Go
Saturdays.
get it.
Yeah, Friday and Saturdays. We started it last week. It'll be for the entire summer. You can get your crawfish and crab boil. Again, that includes crawfish, crab, clams, andouille sausage, shrimp, corn, and potato.
Good gracious.
You hear that?
And
Watch
the Cajun
Supplies
butter.
Live. Yes.
Oh, and Cajun butter? Oh,
Don't
man.
get your hush puppies and honey butter.
See, that's one of my favorite things from there. It's like I'll just get a side of hush puppies and just, man, because I'm from North Carolina.
Cedric
go.
next door in
Here
the
you
shop,
go.
he come get that with the honey butter. He be like,
Yeah,
let
boy,
them
I'm
hoes
trying
for
to
honey butter.
So definitely appreciate you guys for coming and talking with us
Thank
today.
you for having us, man.
More
Most
than welcome.
definitely. Episode 7, I am Rob Sproul, a.k.a. SP.
And I am Marcus McLeod, aka Legacy Jones, and y'all are
Shelly.
And Germaine.
Bow legs, fish and chips.
Shout out to the Beau Maniacs.
Beau Maniacs, what it do?
What it do?
good,
Yeah.
Have you heard?
Have you heard?
Have you heard?
That's right. What would a show be without entertainment talk? Keeping you updated with all the latest news and gossip happening with some of your favorite celebrities.
This week in the world of entertainment and music.
The league that can't agree what constitutes a catch during a game somehow had no problem agreeing what makes a player patriotic before it. Sorry, my screen blacked out. No, that doesn't count. The league that can't agree what constitutes a catch during a game somehow had no problem agreeing what makes a player patriotic before it. Patriotic gestures aren't confined to placing a hand over the heart or singing every word of the anthem. The sight of a kneeling quarterback shouldn't shake the NFL to its core. Roger Goodell says, "We want people to be respectful of the national anthem. We want people to stand and make sure that they treat this moment in a respectful fashion. That's something I think we owe." What are your thoughts? And before I get in that, we have a daily grind first, where we had to bring a guest back for the Have You Heard segment. So, once again, we want to welcome Germaine.
Thank you for having me, man.
Sir.
So, boom, I'm going to ask you first. What are your thoughts on that, man?
You know, it's touching, you know, because, you know, you have a lot of people that's in the military that's died for the flag, and they feel like, you know, kneeling during the national anthem is disrespect.
Right.
But understand on the other flip side of the coin there, you have you know, guys like Colin Kaepernick and other fellas who want to use that platform to show the world, hey, let's make some changes here and here. And so with that being said, I agree with what Colin is doing. I applaud him. You know, he's always been a man of high integrity and seemed good character. And yeah, so hey.
Because honestly, it has nothing to do with the military. Colin Kaepernick started kneeling to protest police brutality.
Right.
And
Yes.
that was the first thing, hands down, that was where it all started.
Yes.
They just wanted to make the NFL, or the people wanted to make it something that it totally wasn't. And that's where everybody's issue came about it, because that's when it divided it. But this new policy, it's not working. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't know how it's going to work.
I haven't even heard of the new policy yet. What's in the new policy there?
All right, so boom, what they're saying is that any player that kneels, any team or anything to that nature that kneels during the anthem is automatically going to get fined. But they're giving them the option to stay in the locker room present till after the national anthem is sung, and be able to come out onto the field after the national anthem has been sung.
Well, you know, it's one of those things where it's divided we fall, and united we stand type thing. And so if one player, or say a handful of players, say, hey, I don't want to go out and stand for what that platform is, to not represent this brutality that's going on in the United States, I believe the whole team should stay in and during the national anthem. You know, and to say, hey, we stand for you guys. Well, let's make this happen as a whole. You know, because again, it's not just a race a thing. It's a human race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And until we understand that, then we'll remain divided.
And see, my thing is like, if I feel like if the NFL insists on keeping the anthem before the game, it's really based on like sponsorship backlash, because they're worried about money more so than anything. And if it's such a big deal, why don't you just keep both teams in the locker room through the process?
Thank you.
And it'll alleviate all the issues, like right off rip.
If it's that serious, if they want it to be in such a respected fashion, then they need to shut down the bathrooms, barricade, shut off the concession stands, shut the Wi-Fi off, to keep the crowd's full attention for every single word of the anthem. Because if that's the case, then that's pretty much what you're saying you're trying to do. But I don't feel, and then just like we were talking,
it's marketing and money, man.
Exactly.
And you want to see those players, and they're highlighting those players at that very moment during the anthem, and so they want, you know, the world to see, hey, these guys are you know, participating, or you know doing this thing for the national anthem, you know, United States type thing. And again, I'm American first. I'm a full. I love to be here in America, and I believe in what our military do. You know, as far as with the national anthem and coincide with all that there. But I disagree again. You know, with just the way human lives have become nothing. You know, it's one of those things where it's just human lives. It's just a disregard of human life, pretty much. You know, and when that money comes before human lives, it don't make sense.
Yeah, I base it off of preference. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really off of.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's really off of preference. I mean, if somebody wants to stay in the locker room, then let it be that. The issue that I have with it is that when you allow some people to come on the field and others not, that choose not to, then the cameras are rolling, and then they're focusing on who didn't come out of the locker room.
Most definitely, they're magnified.
Yep, and then after the game, they're going to these players, and then that situation, like you said, gets magnified, and that person gets put on display.
Right.
And now you're looking at a person that's dealing with the endorsements that they may have with a sneaker company or whatever other companies that they may have that are being put on a line based off of their personal perception of what they believe in.
And at the end of it, they're missing the whole entire point of the protest. Like, you know what I mean? Because when I feel like when it was about taking a knee, or when they linked up, because when that whole weekend when all those teams linked up, oh man, it shook the world.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It definitely shook the world. And so now you want people to sit in the locker room. Oh, well, you can decide to sit in the locker room if you want. That defeats the purpose. So I'm sitting in the locker room because I don't. Now you're making it about more of the national anthem.
They're taking away their platform.
Yeah.
They're taking away their platform.
They're making it more about the national anthem than what it was about originally. So now it's going to be, oh, well, he's sitting in the locker room because he doesn't want to hear the national anthem. No.
Let's think about baseball though. Like with baseball, they have you got the national anthem being sung. Both teams are standing on the sidelines and stuff, or are they in a bullpen?
I think they're in. I'm not sure.
Anyways, I think they're standing outside, so I guess I'd be wrong in that sense.
Right.
But like the whole separating, I wouldn't want people coming out to the field and it not being the whole team.
Right.
Like it's just
definitely.
like
Unity.
it's just because
most
you're
definitely.
dividing the team
Yeah.
right before the game, and look what type of energy that you're giving.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in regards to now the team.
It's a
isn't
distraction,
even a
man.
team.
It's most definitely a distraction.
The team isn't even a team now because some players went out, some didn't. You know, now it's a perception thing.
And
that
the press conference.
and then the press conference and the things that they build on that, and the media nowadays, like look at how sports is. It's not even about the players anymore. It's about the BS and how much drama they can talk about behind the scenes of what's going on. Not even the sport anymore. It's about like what's going on in this person's personal life, or just finding a way of picking and choosing or depicting a team or a player through this process.
Right.
You know.
But yeah, man. So with that being said, we definitely want you to like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Definitely hit that bell on the side.
And shout out to Germaine Harris for being a part of our first segment when it comes to
Having a guest.
heard.
Thank you, Jennifer, for having me, man.
Most definitely, man.
Most definitely. Wow. YouTube stardom. Danielle Bregoli, who is now 15, was a troubled youth who was introduced to the world on Dr. Phil's show in 2016. Her mother brought her on the show seeking help to do away with Danielle's disrespectful ways. While on the show, Danielle gained notoriety for now her well-known catchphrase, "Catch me outside." How about that?
How about that?
Due to the verbal altercation she had with an audience member after the show, Danielle went on a social media and continued her mischievous ways while gaining fans doing so. Here we are, not even 2 years later. She has a record deal with Atlantic, certified gold single, a gold single. Gold, that's 500,000 for those that don't know. With her record called High, B.I., you know the rest. She was nominated at the Billboard Awards for top rap female artist.
That's sad.
Crazy, right?
That's sad.
And she's supposed to be working on her own reality show. This has spawned others to follow suit through social media with the likes of Whoa Vicky, an 18-year-old white female from Marietta, Georgia, who claims to be black. Okay.
Right.
Right. And the newest addition, Lil Tay,
Flexing on you haters, man.
a 9-year-old Asian girl who has taken Instagram by storm, calling herself the youngest flexer of the century. What are your thoughts?
Man, it's like the word that they're using nowadays is being clout chasers, right? And I feel like that's all that it is. The Catch Me Outside girl, that came out of nowhere. Like, you know what I mean? From that episode, everything went up, but for her to get a record deal and then get nominated for a top female rap artist, like, that's insane.
Well, let's not negate the fact that, you know, as soon as she left the show and her "Catch Me Outside" phrase ended up catching wind, and whatever artist ended up taking her "Catch Me Outside" phrase and turning it into some sort of little clip that ended up going viral and making the world go crazy, she decided to run with that as well, which has garnered her a lot more attention. So she took to social media, ran with the wave,
Right.
continued to gain more fans through the process.
You're just you're pretty much a Jerry Springer kid that made it. Like, if you really want to look at it, like, you know what I mean, that made something of it. Now, as far as the Lil Tay kid, I feel like that's even worse in my opinion, because you're 9. Like, and then her mom has gone on the record to say she's a straight A student. She plays piano, gymnastics, all this other stuff.
Right.
Why are you using this avenue? I mean, like, because if you look at it, there's a lot of kids nowadays that are on YouTube just trying to get fans, trying to do funny stuff just to get views and whatnot. But you're being like a complete, like,
Hey, before you even continue, do you know that there are agents that are actually signing people to be social media monsters?
why?
Because Little
It's such a
Tay,
big thing.
Little Tay's manager is the same manager as Whoa Vicky.
Oh, wow.
They have the same manager. The chick that swears she's black, that's definitely not black.
She went on Ancestry.com, bro. Yes, she is. She said it.
And if it was on Facebook, it's the truth.
It's the truth. Read the internet.
Nah, but with Danielle Bergoli, who decided, you know, that was on Dr. Phil, the funny thing about her is that, you know, with the stardom that she's gained through being on Dr. Phil and, you know, staying on social media, garnering all the attention that she did, then playing with music a little bit. Next thing you know, she ends up getting a record deal with Atlantic.
Somebody writing.
A multi-million-dollar record deal with Atlantic. I don't care who's writing for her. What I will say is the fact that somebody decided to say she's getting this much attention. How much more attention does she really need if she's an artist to really push behind? Because what labels are doing, from my perception, is finding somebody that already has that wave. And if they decide to do music, it doesn't take much to put the battery in their back.
With it.
Yeah, we're cutting out artist development, and we're running straight with putting out music
And
now.
that's probably the only, when it came to her, that's probably the only thing that she needed was like training as far as like rapping, performing, and stuff to that nature. But the following was there, like already. And then I'm guaranteeing you, they're gonna put her on somebody's tour.
Well, she also gained a TV show through the process.
Now that I could have seen, like the TV show, I totally get, but to get a record deal out of the equation, that makes no sense.
Well, I mean, she's a fan of hip hop music, and you know, at the end of the day, you know, she was rapping over other lyrics as far as like Kodak Black. I think she had did a Kodak Black video, which I felt was like kind of like the introduction, even though she was rapping someone else's lyrics, which was his. And then that was kind of like a test run, I feel.
Then somebody from the label looked at her like, well, hey, she looks like somebody we can put in front of 5,000 people. Let's give her a shot.
And made it work. The crazy part, you know, her dad is a cop.
I guess, man. But that's the same thing. Like with the only person out of all three of them make me mad, low key. But Whoa Vicky is the main one that is just like, you got famous off of. First off, I don't want to say anything ill about like the mentally disabled, but I'm pretty sure she has something. Like something's wrong with this child, like all the way around. And I'm not trying to be rude, but you know what I mean. Like if you literally watch, like you don't even have to watch two. Watch one of her videos, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying.
But we got the grown lady. What's the grown lady's name? What's the grown lady's name that's claiming to be black?
Oh, Rachel.
Rachel.
I can't remember. I know who you're talking about.
From Spokane, from Washington.
She's from Washington?
Grown lady.
Wow.
Claiming to be black. NAACP.
Wow.
How did that happen?
I don't know. And then she looked at her. She watched. That person is a role model for her. Because Whoa Vicky looked at her, and then she just took off. And not to mention her and Danielle Bregoli ran into each other, and none of them like each other. Like, no, Lil Tay rocks with Whoa Vicky.
Because they have the same manager.
But like they can't stand Danielle Bregoli.
I
they
think
pulled up on her.
All of this is based on marketing, and I'm sure that they had some marketing ploy to try to give more visibility to both of these people and their respective lines of business.
Because at the end of the day, all they're doing is their jobs are to go on social media, make yourself look crazy. Like Lil Tay's mom got fired from her job.
Mom was a real estate agent,
and that's bread.
And she wasn't selling like the little houses. They were in Canada. She was selling these $1 million plus properties out there.
And you lost that job.
Sitting in front of Bentleys and
because you're
all kinds of extravagant cars.
And crazy.
Straight A student. Oh, her brother was a YouTuber.
Okay.
A failed YouTuber. And now you have him pushing his sister to try to get to a space that he didn't get to.
I feel like ass whoopings need to be handed out, man.
I definitely agree. So with that being said, Rob Spruill, a.k.a. SP.
And I'm Marcus McLeod, a.k.a. Legacy Jones. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on the topic. And while you're at it, there's a little bell on the side. Definitely hit that so you can be notified every time we make a new video.
And make sure you check out what our sponsors have to offer, T Brothers, because we're going to hit you with another commercial when we segue out of this. This is episode 7.
Boom. Lucky number 7.
Yo, we like to give a shout out to our sponsor, T Brothers.
And we definitely want to give a huge shout out to Germaine and Shelly for coming through from Beau Legs.
Yes, sir.
Letting us know. Shout out to the Beau Maniacs out there.
Beau Legas.
All them names. But definitely appreciate them for coming through, shedding light on their careers and what pushed them to there.
And if you haven't ate there yet, you definitely want to swing by. They just added the new
crab boil and crawfish every Friday and Saturday all throughout the summer. Make sure you go, because I'm going. Hopefully we see you there.
Episode 7.
Don't interrupt me while I'm eating though.
Peace.
If you gonna get it, then go get the daily grind. This is where the hustle never stops. The daily grind. Focus, watch me make it out another daily grind. Keep pursuing, rise with me to the top. The daily grind.
Wake up.
It's the Daily Grind.
Daily Grind.
With SP and Legacy Jones.